Hi everybody, I'm outside today in the sunshine in my garden. Oh, it's warm today. I think it's maybe too warm, so I think I might go inside. Back into the house. Whoa, I really like being outside, but it's much cooler inside, so maybe I'll sit down here. Oh, it's very hot. I'll just have a seat here on my sofa. Well, it wasn't great in there either, so I thought I'd come out in the back underneath an apple tree and maybe it would be cooler there. And there in the corner, a chair in the shade. Shall I choose this chair or shall I choose that chair? It looks good to me, so I think I'll just make it here. My goodness, I had to make a lot of decisions there. Well, I'm back here in the kitchen because it's cool here and there's not the traffic noise. So I'll get some peace to tell you the story. Today we're going to talk about another change, another challenge. Last week, do you remember, I talked about changes and transition being like the path through a maze. Well, this week I was out walking with my husband and we went over some stepping stones. Now, I don't like stepping stones any more than I like a maze. Do you like stepping stones? I bet some of you do, and I bet some of you need help, like me, to get across them. I'm always scared of falling in. And what happened with these stepping stones, I got to the middle quite easily. They were quite big steps and there wasn't much between them. And then I didn't think I could move any further. Of course, I needed some help then. So I shouted to my husband, who'd gone a wee bit further on, "Come back and help me, give me your hand." And when he gave me his hand, I felt safe to move one foot to the next place. So just one foot, I didn't jump. I just moved one foot to the next rock and brought my foot up and then moved on to the next one. And in seconds, really, I was across the river. I would tell you about that because transition, moving from one thing to another, really means that you've got to leave something behind so that you can move to the next place. I know a lot of you are feeling like you've got to leave something behind that you don't want to. But last week, my dad, who'd been living with me for 3 months during the lockdown, he decided he would go home. I was very sad when he went home, but I know that he loves his home and all his friends are there and all the people that look after him. And I had to say, "Bye, Dad, I'll see you next time." That was really hard and I did cry. But I will see him next time, and after a few days I talked to him on the phone and he was really happy. Now, what would have happened if I hadn't taken that one step to the next place? He would still be here. Maybe he wouldn't be so happy because he did want to go home. And so I had to let go of one thing so I could take hold of the next. And that's what transition is. We've had so many changes that I'm sure you have learned to walk in transition. You have learned to take one more step, letting go of that last step and going on. Do you remember David? We talked about him last week in Psalm 23. This week, I was thinking about how he had often to do that. When he went away from his family to the palace, he had to take one step and go to the palace, and then the king fell out with him. The king was his best friend then, and he said he had to go, and so he had to leave the palace, and that was a big change for him again. That was a really difficult time for David. He had been the commander of the army, used to telling people what to do, and now he was hiding in a cave, fearful for his life. That change took him to a place that he really didn't want to be. But David wrote another poem, like a letter to God. Let me read it to you, and we'll think quietly about it. By you, my God, I can run against an army. By my God, I can leap over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. He speaks and it works. He's my shield, I trust him. Who is God the Lord? Who is a rock except our God? It's God who arms me with strength. He makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of the deer on high places. Isn't that so great? David had had so many changes, and yet he still knew God would help him. If you need somebody to get you over the changes that you're going through in these next weeks and months, maybe you could ask God if he would help you. Don't forget, ask your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your teachers. But I think, and David thought, God's kind of cool to ask. Have a great week. I'll see you soon. Bye.